So let's talk about inserting images, ClipArt, things like that. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab, and from the Insert tab, I could just simply choose to insert a picture. I'll just come get something here. Let me see. I go to Pictures, and I'll just stick this guy in. That's all there is to it. It's just that simple. Unless, of course, I'm going to Control Z out of that because I want to keep that first slide the way it is. Unless, of course, I want to control or hold tight an image. So I've created all I've done is used a title and content slide here. You'll notice the two content will allow me to do this twice, one on the left, one on the right, etc. But I'm going to just use this title and single content. And so when I want to insert some type of particular object, and in this case we're going to be looking at a clip art and then an image, I'm just going to come down into the slide and I'm going to hover and choose one of these icons. Now you'll notice I have one for table, one for charts, one for an Excel or a smart art graphic, one for a picture, one for a clip art, and something like a media clip. So I'm going to go to ClipArt. When I click on that little icon, the ClipArt pane opens. I tell it what I want to go looking for, and I'll just say FLOWERS. I'm just going to spell out flowers. I decide what kind of where I want it to look. I'm going to always choose everywhere because it'll go looking on the internet as well that way. And in here, it's good to specify what types of things you're looking for. If I'm not looking for a sound or movie, I'm going to deselect those by clicking on those boxes because that'll just slow down my search. And I'll click go. And I'll get a whole grouping of clip art and images. And so if I found something in here I liked and I wanted to insert it, the beauty of having gone in this way is the software is automatically going to resize the image to fit this object box, if you would, this text box, this object, this drawing box. In this case, this thing is considerably bigger than this box, but when I go to insert it, the software just simply takes a minute and says, okay, I have to limit the height of this to the height of that box, instead of being about from the bottom of my screen all the way up to about in here somewhere. It's resized it just to fit the box. Okay? So I'll Control Z out of that. To insert a picture, it's the same kind of thing. I'm going to close my ClipArt. I'm going to click on the Insert Picture from File icon. It takes me right into my Pictures folder. So it went to my user account and went into the Pictures folder. It says I'm looking for a picture. I'll go take you to Pictures. And I think I'll go find something out of here. And I'll insert this thing called Roses too. Yeah, that'll work. And so it's done the same thing. Once again, it's resized it to the size of that text box, and I can now start applying effects to my images. And you can do this to clip art just as well as you can to pictures. When you click on that picture, you'll notice if you watch my ribbon up here, when I click on the picture, I actually end up with this additional tab called Picture Tools. And if I hover over one of these gallery items, I get a preview of what that image is going to look like if I apply that style. And I can scroll down one row at a time, just clicking on this down arrow, or one row up at a time. And all I have to do, like I say, is just hover until you find something you're looking for. If you want to see the whole gallery at one time, click on this bottom arrow, and it'll show you all the options at one time. And so your job is to go find something you want to use, and there's lots of cool things here, needless to say. And so I'm going to go find something I know I want to use, and I'm going to just, because of what I'm trying to do here, I'm going to select this one. And I'm going to click on it to apply it. Now, because I know that I'm going to do some other things with this image, I'm going to simply resize the image. So I'm going to left click and hold on a corner resizing box. These things here are called resizing boxes. And if I use the corner one, then as I drag, it doesn't matter whether I move my mouse point straight up or to the left. What's going to happen is it's going to force me to move kind of diagonally, and as I do that, it's going to resize that image proportionally. It'll keep the height to the width ratios equal. So now I have my image. I'm going to align my image on the center of the slide. I can tell it's off center right now, so I'm going to go here to the Arrange group, and I'm going to click Align Center, and it'll automatically center it on the slide for me. I don't have to do the guesswork. Now, just because I've applied a style doesn't mean I can't do some make some changes to the style. So I'm going to go into Picture Effects, and I want to add a reflection to the bottom of this image. And so to do that, I just choose which reflection I want. How far away from the bottom do I want it? You can see as I go down through these rows, it keeps moving further and further away. And here's right to the bottom of it. And as I go to the right, it changes how long the reflection is. Is it a full reflection, a half reflection, a quarter reflection? I think what I'm going to do is choose this slightly off in a quarter reflection. Even having done that, I could continue to make additional changes. I can, for instance, see what happens if I come back and add a shadow as well. I can have the reflection and a shadow. You see what's going on? So a lot of these things will work together. If I choose to bevel it, I'm going to lose some of the effect I'm looking at. So this is not going to be one of my choices with this particular thing. But if you wanted to change the orientation of it, you can do that. You can have this thing so that you're almost looking at its edge. It's obviously not something I'm looking to do with this image, just because of eventually where I'd like to go with this. So again, as always, remember when you're working with an object, make sure you select that object so that you can get the right tools to play with that object. And as always, all I can suggest you do here is just play. There's just any numbers of things to do here. So play. Thanks for listening.